Step back a little bit, Dr. Barke. My impression of the school system, the public school system in Orange County, the area where you live, was compared to virtually any other public school system pretty good.
Well, in Los Alamitos Unified, I'm proud to say, to the extent that you can be proud, our school district, there's 27 school districts in Orange County, California, and our school district was considered the number one school district in Orange County. Now, what does number one mean? Well, let me tell you. In California, we have a test that's given annually to all the kids in our schools.
Right.
It's called the CASP test, or the Smarter Balance test. And we grade kids on ELA, English Language Arts, and on math. So in Los Alamitos, the number one school district in Orange County, we have 18.3% of our kids that are below grade level in English Language Arts, and 26% of our kids that are below grade level in math. Now, keep in mind, Los Alamitos is a very affluent district, encompasses Los Alamitos, Rossmore, and Seal Beach. So we're not in the hood. We have a very affluent population. Yet, despite that, a quarter of our kids in our district are below grade level in math, and that's considered one of the best school districts in Orange County.
Now, the term, Dr. Barke, choice is a broad choice. It covers simply options out of a government school. It could be a public charter. It could be a private charter. It could be a private school. It could be a voucher that follows the child rather than the other way around, so that child could use that voucher for anything, kind of like the way kids can use a scholarship, a Pell Grant for any school that they choose. Ideally, in my opinion, the money should follow the child, and the parent should have the right to say, I'm going to spend this money where I want to spend it. We're not even close to that. Your situation is a public charter school, which I would have thought has a lot of the rules and regulations that you wanted to break from in the first place.
Well, it has some of the regulations, but the most important regulations that it doesn't have is most charter schools in California, about 90%, are non-unionized. And if there's nothing else I say, that's probably the most important. And the reason why is, as a non-unionized school, we have the ability to pay teachers based on their ability to teach, and we can let go underperforming teachers. Now, my 12 years at Los Alamitos Unified, I can literally count, Sage, on one hand, the number of teachers that were let go as a result of underperformance. And one of the criticisms, by the way, of charter schools is that they have a higher turnover of teachers. Well, no wonder. If a teacher is underperforming in a charter school, most charter schools, you can let that teacher go. And if they are overperforming, you can pay them based on their ability to teach, not just based on their ability to show up next year and continue their profession.
My guest is Dr. Jeffrey Barke. He has started a free public charter school, which will open in September 2020. Talk to me about how difficult it was to pull this off.
So it was very surreal, and I've never experienced anything like it. So our charter school, Orange County Classical Academy, orangecountyclassicalacademy.org, if somebody wants more information, it felt literally like an epic confrontation between the supporters of government monopoly in education versus the supporters of parental rights and school choice. So, for example, when I got there to this board meeting, and it was the final board meeting where we were going to get an up or down approval of our charter petition. There were bullying tactics that were immediately in place. You need to turn in a blue card in order to speak publicly at a public school meeting. And I had about 25 blue cards with our supporters filled out, about to turn them in when this 6'4" black-shirted union thug approached me, asked to see my cards. And when I refused, he said, if you don't show me your cards, I'm going to escort you out of this boardroom. Now, fortunately for me, I know in my experience as a school board member that there's nothing that he has a right to do, especially escort me out. So I simply walked away and said, our conversation is over. The union representatives would often take our supporters' seats when they would go up to speak at the podium, and there was snapping of fingers and booing and hissing when our supporters would speak. Our meeting lasted over 7 hours. We had 50 speakers that spoke on our behalf. We rallied our supporters. We had about 200 people at the board meeting. We outnumbered the union supporters.